for it. Now then, the Doctor, a winner here, an absolute hero here, a legend worldwide. What can he do? I keep getting these odd cryptic messages come up on my Twitter feed that ask the question, if Rossi beats Viñales this year, will it be the end of Viñales? What will Rossi do if he doesn't perform this year and get that 10th world title? Will he retire? There's all sorts of speculation around the man himself, isn't there, at the moment? But you've got to say, if it's wet tomorrow, a racetrack like this, look at the crowd. He's still got the biggest grandstand is dedicated to Valentino Rossi fans. Even Marc Marquez here, who I must say, the march of the Red Army is beginning to eat into the Yellow Army around the world wherever we go. But here it's still very much Valentino on top. Cal Crutchlow, well, he's our top man in Great Britain, that is for sure. Did a fantastic job in Qatar, but he could do with starting from the front two rows of the grid, not getting snared anywhere in that opening couple of corners. You need to make the start here. Very tricky offline. Don't want to be forced there. Can't bet against Marc Marquez finding pole here, but look at this. This is a good job, isn't it?
This is a first, seeing these two together, and this is really good for Lorenzo. He needs this.
Interesting, all the comments that Michael made about how different that bike is set up on the 99 compared with the 93. Longer, higher, really tricky.
But just what he needs though, Keith. He's about 0.7 off, we saw in FP4, which is not a lot, and getting right behind Marc Marquez on the same bike, even though he's got a different setup. Jorge Lorenzo, this will be a day at school really on how to ride the Honda around this track, because Marc has been incredible the last 5 years around this circuit.
I was going to say, I'm not sure I would like that lesson.
Well, for me, it would last, it'd be gone now. It wouldn't last one corner.
Well, to be frank, judging by the times, I'm not sure it's going to last that long with Jorge either.
No, I don't know.
We'll wait and see.
Well, we'll
Turn one then, on the opening flying lap. Marquez and Lorenzo, the two Repsol Honda men.
Let's not forget, Lorenzo rode this bike incredibly well in the pre-season tests.
But not here.
Similar lap times to Marquez, straight away.
This has not been a great track for Jorge.
No, on anything.
On anything. So I'm not, you know, maybe Marquez is... They wouldn't have sent Jorge out behind Marquez if Marquez didn't want him to be there.
Yeah, Marquez wouldn't have allowed it to happen.
My point, yeah. I'm sorry, not very well put, but yes. I think that Marquez's side of the garage has obviously decided that let's give Jorge a bit of a legs up here. Through turn 6. Starting to light the rear tyre up. Jorge Lorenzo, I'll tell you what a couple of legends actually. Watching those two in the same frame. It's putting the hairs on my arms up just watching them go round.
And obviously on the same bike, you know, the same colours, which is the first time we've seen them together on track, isn't it?
Pretty spectacular sight. First flying lap of qualifying 2 from the two Repsol Honda men.
The gaps, you know, yes, the gap's growing, but like I said, Marquez has just been phenomenal around this track. Oh, Marquez, that was close. Great shot into the last corner,
really
sort of breaking on angle all the way. Look how late the apex is.
I wish we'd seen that more often, you know, some of the overhead shots like that, particularly in your track piece. That would have been a really good explainer to show those 3 or 4 different lines you can get through there. 38.7 compares with the 38.4 that Marquez done in FP3.
That's a good first flying
unbelievably
lap.
Good. What was Lorenzo's time?
Lorenzo was a 39.3.
39.3 for Lorenzo. Let me just check and see how that works out as well. Jorge Lorenzo, 39.3. He's still 2/10 off of what his best time is so far.
Yeah. But the track's hotter, it's definitely greasier.
Jack Miller goes second. Cal Crutchlow is third.
Miller into turn 1's. He's made it.
He did.
Just.
Dovi goes over the line. Turn 1, of course, he had a fall there in FP3. Petrucci following him in.
He had a fall there as well, didn't he, at some point this weekend, Petrucci? They've both been down, haven't they?
There's been a few down at turn 1. The off-line was just too dirty. If you ran a yard offline, you were in trouble and in the gravel trap. Here's Viñales. Well, we know he can do a 1 lap, that's for sure. The question mark is, will he make it, put it to good use tomorrow? Oh. Short shifting on a seamless gearbox. The bike doesn't even tilt, does it, anywhere?
No, it
absolutely, it's linear, stays absolutely straight.
Yeah, it's almost like it's an automatic.
Yeah, yeah.
Cal's on a cracker, he's 0.1 up. Well, almost 0.2 to this point. Let's see what. Just into the last corner, yeah.
Tricky last corner, last set. Yeah, that front just tucked a little bit, didn't it? Brought his foot off the foot peg.
There's a bit of cement dust down there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just off the line.
Yeah.
It's just off the line, but and it would have cleaned up by now, surely. But boy, hang on, Cal.
Exactly the same point where Marquez had his moment. Yeah, the Honda works so well around here. And Cal loves it, doesn't he? Well, actually, in an interview, he said, well, I don't
like it.
Yeah, it's not my favourite track.
My favourite, yeah.
It works for him.
38.9 for Cal Crutchlow.
Rossi fourth.
Cal Crutchlow's 2/10 off of what he's done before. Rossi, what's his time? 39.0 for Rossi. 39.0 for Rossi. That's the fastest time he's done this weekend so far, Valentino Rossi. So he's on the pace. Quartararo, 39.1 for him. This kid is going to be a superstar in MotoGP. I've just got that feeling. How old is he still? 19?
Still 19. Wow. Incredible, isn't it?
Wow, that is as well. So in his, what, second MotoGP?
Yeah.
His 69th Grand Prix, though, overall. Marquez only go Moto 3, Moto 2.
Marquez has not messed about. It was one flying lap, Keith, in fresh set of tyres.
Straight back.
Straight back out.
Well, he had an odd FP4, didn't he? He was all over the place. He had that chain that jumped the sprocket. Viñales only 5th, and not looking that happy, must be said.
No, you'd normally put him in front of Rossi when it comes to the one lap.
Oh, front
flying.
end. I think the way this guy's got his bike set, not that I know anything, I'm taking a guess at this, by the way, as you will all know at home, but the way he's got his bike set for this particular track just doesn't sound right when you compare it with Cal Crutchlow and Marc Marquez's setup. That short, sharp, shocking fast motorcycle that they've got.
Yeah, and Nakagami, you watch Nakagami, he's riding the bike, looks like a Honda, doesn't it?
Yeah, aggressive, and it looks like it points and squirts really well. I just wonder whether the long, flowing chassis setup that Lorenzo seems to have
will work great when we get to Barcelona, when we get to Mugello, them tracks that...
But maybe not here.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be, I've just got a feeling, pretty special, or we could be in the gravel. We're just starting, coming round to get into the final section to start this his first flying lap with his his second go at it with his new tyres.
Will he do 3?
He'll have time to. We'll have a look at it.
Just about.
Well, actually, I don't know if he'd have to do a bike swap possibly. Right, let's have a look then.
Here we go.
Close your eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
38.767 is the time to aim for. It's his own top time. Into turn 1, he's got it in there neat and tidy, and then it ran out. That front bobbled like mad, but and he knows it. Mucked up turn 1.
As you would say, a little bit greedy on the brakes. Tried to steal a metre on the brakes, and unfortunately, when you close the limit, especially on a track as slippy as this.
Oh, you said it. You said it. Fireworks. Expect something spectacular, and he was aiming for something spectacular, but it went wrong on turn 1. So he'll make it round. Doubt if he'll go for 3 now.
Yeah, he'll make it round, and what he'll do now on this lap, the rest of this lap, he's not going to abuse his rear tyre. No. He'll just
keep it hot.
Yeah, keep it hot, but not go too hard on it.
I love this overhead camera. We're seeing all the extra angles that we can't see from the track side. Let's have a look at this one then. As he comes in, he gets that front just bobbling. Oh, look at it. That was about as close as it gets.
And this is where, when you talk to Cal Crutchlow, he says, when you look at Marc's data,
scary.
Of what the front's actually locks momentarily into corners like that, and he said that normal people would stand the bike up, but he toughs it out.
I was going to say it was wrong when the back started to come in.
That was the problem, I think.
It was wrong already, and it took him out wide, but you're right. Instead of letting it off,
he stuck at it to try and
bobbled away at the front, just to be so close on the edge of crashing. It was a spectacular
If it was a boxer, you would have to knock him clean out.
Yeah. With a lump
coming in.
With a lump of wood. He is.
So, is he going to swap tyres?
Or is he going to swap bikes? Maybe he's going to swap tyres on this bike. He's got plenty of time. He's got enough time to stick that marvellous Marquez sort of one-lap wonder in.
And everybody else
They're going to swap tyres on the bike.
Yeah, majority of the other riders...
Hang on, who's that? I've knocked him off last year, rather.
Yeah, everybody else is sitting in the pits waiting to get
changing wheels.
Bit of a tow.
So, not the second bike. I think there's a bit of in the old days, he'd have jumped straight on the second bike and gone out and made it pole. I think there's a bit of difference nowadays between his bikes. He seems to definitely favour one, especially this weekend.
Yeah.
He didn't like the second bike when he had to go out on it after the sprocket jumped.
FP forward.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to put another soft in.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like it.
4.5 minutes to go then.
Yeah, another soft. So another fresh tyre. Have another go at it.
Yep.
I just hope the director follows him into turn 1.
Yeah, just want to be a yard earlier on the brakes, young man.
What he's done by doing this anyway as well, he's created a lot of clear track for him, because now everybody's back out on track and he's sort of going to be half a lap behind them.
As it is at the moment, provisional front row, Marquez, Crutchlow, Miller.
We'll
row 2. Yeah, we will.
We'll take that.
Second row, Rossi, Viñales, Petrucci. Third row, Quartararo, Morbidelli, Dovizioso. You haven't really seen much of Dovi. That was no fault to anybody there. I don't know why they're showing it again, but Valentino was coming out as the young Mark was coming in. Oh, no, Jack.
Jack, you don't need this, mate.
No, you really don't.
Jack's been so fast all weekend.
So Valentino's decided to blast off back on it.
I think he was probably concerned that Valley was going to tow him round.
Might have been the case.
We don't have the issue that in Qatar there was always an issue of you're going to go too slow on your outlap because you're going to lose too much temperature, but it's so hot and humid.
It is hot, yeah, I was going to say. 3.5 minutes to go of this session then. Valentino will get 2 goes at this. Here's Paul Espargaro up from qualifying 1. Great qualifying 1 for him.
I think that was a car park route, then he was a little bit wide there.
Here's Quartararo. Sorry if I shout a little bit more. I'm a real fan of the Frenchman, I must say.
That's 2 of us.
Yeah, well, I think it's the whole team.
Well, it's the whole paddock, because when you do what he's done or what he's doing, that's what happens. The paddock quickly turns, and then they know when they see someone doing really well, don't they? Like the respect level.
The respect level's up, yeah.
And
especially when he's a nice kid.
Yeah, all he does is smile. And he's right behind Lorenzo, actually. He's got a nice little target to one to aim at.
Jorge at the moment's 4th row with Nakagami and Paul Espargaro, the 2 that came up from qualifying 1. Oh, he's got good style, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's almost old-fashioned.
Lots of red indicators, Keith. Viñales, Morbidelli, Dovizioso.
Quartararo goes second. 38.8 from Quartararo. Come on, 38.8. That's the fastest he's been by 4/10 all weekend. Quartararo. Wow.
I bet the kid thinks he's dreaming.
And he looked so calm.
Yeah.
It didn't look a hectic lap. Here's Morbidelli, his teammate.
Yeah, do you remember this man? This was the...
Look where he is.
This was a world champion, Moto2 world champion a couple of years ago. We forgot about him last year, didn't we?
Just about.
He's back.
Yeah, on a proper bike.
And a proper team.
Miller's well under as well. Look at the red lights everywhere. The pin has been pulled. Oh, respect.
That went early, tipping into the corner.
Oh, and he kept it on though.
Somehow.
He had to, otherwise it was going to be a big high side, but it found grip. Wow. Who's it going to be?
Well, it looks like Miller. Miller's on a crazy lap.
Well, he was last year. Morbidelli goes second. Viñales goes top, 38.4. Rossi goes second. Yamaha 1 and 2 for the minute. Wait for Miller. Miller goes through. He's only 3rd. Dovi goes and splits the Yamahas. Wow. Viñales, Dovizioso, Rossi front row at the moment. Marquez is still coming round. He's in 5th place.
So we're going to see Viñales pole position back to back?
Back to back. Will he be able to start that front from the front row and make it work for him? Wait for this then. We turn left. Marquez. He's well under. Oh, he's going to get it surely. Yes, he does. 38.3. 38.3. I'm going to have to hunt here for that. 38.3 is a long way off the fastest ever lap. His fastest ever lap, by the way.
He's having another go at it, Keith.
He's got time.
In his head, I don't think he'll think it's enough. Well, he never does.
He never does. I was going to say he sort of pushes it right to the absolute end of things. But 38.3, I can't see anybody getting near that. He's 0.154 up. A further 10th back is Viñales, Dovizioso. So Honda, Yamaha, Ducati on the front row so far.
And have they got 2 laps in them, these tyres, for an out and out? Yeah, we're about to find out. Well, he's gone through the first split. He's a 10th down, so I don't think he's going to get that back, Marquez. Actually, Crutchlow's on a cracker.
Needs to be.
Yeah, he needs to be.
Third row at the moment.
There he is.
He did this in free
He's
practice.
blown that
Yeah,
completely. That's how that's gone.
dear. And he ain't going to make it because the flag's out.
He's not going to be happy.
No, he's not. Third row for him at the moment.
Checkered flag out.
Yep. Marquez, Vinales, Dovizioso. I can't see that changing. Oh. Here's Petrucci, but not on a particularly fast one.
He's not going to be happy at all.
Fourth row.
Not happy, no.
He'll look across at Lorenzo and say, I know how you feel. Marquez at the end of the lap. Wow, he's out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
A little bit wide on the way in. Still 38.3. Not a bad time late in the day when it's hot and sticky. Still riding it like a boss.
Like a bull. Like a wild bull, isn't it? And that's the Honda.
Here's Nakagami.
Respect. Look at this. I mean, it's only 0.3 off at this point to Marc Marquez.
But it's not going to move him up from that third row.
Just lost a bit more in that split then, yeah, you're right.
Well, there it is. Pretty much done. We're waiting for Nakagami to roll around. I mean that respectfully, of course. Turn it on the grippy stuff. Over the line goes Nakagami then to consolidate his third row start tomorrow. But it's been an eventful day for Marc Marquez, but pole position again. I think the big shock for me on that front row is Vinales finally sticking it together. Dovizioso, where did he come from? It's like he hasn't been out on track and suddenly he's there on the front row. It's the same old Dovi, isn't it? It's like our race director doesn't like him. We never see him actually do it.
There's one thing he's not going to be able to do this weekend or tomorrow. He's not going to be able to control the race like we saw him do at Qatar.
Going to have to fight. It's going to be a fight day.
What's going to happen is if he does get into the lead, Marquez, well, all the riders they'll be trying to dive bomb him. They won't allow him to be like, let's say, slowing the pace down like he did.
So there it is there, Marc Marquez, pole position for tomorrow's Argentine Grand